Madame Des Rosiers has moved private member's notice motion number 37. Pursuant to Standing Order 98, the member has 12 minutes for her presentation.
Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I tabled this motion on December 1st, 2016, following incidents in my riding and in order to fight against hate crimes against the Muslim community.
Canadian Civil Liberties Association, I had the opportunity to see the effect of injustice on people. And as a law dean and past president of the Law Commission of Canada, I always wanted to make sure that the law was conform to values of equality.
Madam Speaker, I would like to repeat the essence of the motion in French. It affirms that the Legislative Assembly of Ontario must reaffirm that diversity has always played an important role in the heritage and social fabric of Ontario, and we must denounce hate crimes, threats of violence against those of Muslim faith. We must condemn all forms of Islamophobia and reaffirm support for government efforts against racism.
Discrimination undermines the human dignity of people who are subject to it, but it also diminishes us all. Discrimination can be internalized. It can stop people from seeing themselves as full citizens and of achieving what they are meant to achieve. Discrimination is perverse because it also diminishes the people who engage in it. It prevents them from seeing the potential of other human beings, of hiring them, of welcoming them, of befriending them, and it has profound effects on our society. We suffer economic loss when people do not achieve their full potential, when injustices go unremedied, and it attacks the moral fiber of a society, particularly a society like Ontario, which believes in the rule of law. Discrimination can spread, it is contagious, and we know why discrimination spreads. It spreads because of indifference and because of the silence of others. History has shown us that when we do not stand against hatred and discrimination, we are implicitly condoning it. We are accepting it as a fact of life, and that's wrong. We owe it to ourselves and to Ontario to reaffirm our commitment to the equality of all before and under the law, to strengthen our engagement against discrimination. This is the purpose of this motion. It is not about curtailing free speech. Indeed, it is an act of speech to denounce discrimination. It is not about It is not about singling out a particular religion or a group. It is about standing up against all forms of discrimination. And in this House, we have stood up against incidents of anti-Semitism and other forms of discrimination. Just this week, the Minister of Indigenous Affairs and Reconciliation denounced the anti-Semitic gestures in his riding. I have done the same on the night of my election, and we will continue to the same. We should stand up against all forms of discriminations. All forms are wrong. But currently, the Muslim community is the target of hatred. The tragedy in Quebec City is the most horrific example. 6 men lost their lives in a place of worship. And there are also incidents in Ontario. We are not immune from hatred in Ontario. In my riding, I have met women who were harassed because they were wearing the hijab. Young women described being pushed, spat at, discredited, told to go back where they belong. People were refused employment. There were graffitis on mosques and on schools teaching Islam. After the tragedy in Quebec, some Muslim parents were afraid to send their children to school. This motion is about reaching to the Muslim community who is targeted because of international events and discourse elsewhere in the world on which they have no control. Innocent men who were praying were gunned down because of their faith, and we must stand to extend our compassion to the families and friends and to the entire community. Nathalie Des Rosiers today told me, the voices of hatred are loud. We need the voices of reason to speak together, to be louder. And this is what this motion wants to achieve. The Muslim community is extending its arms. I know that there's a group of Central Toronto mosques that are opening their doors on Canada Day, July 1st this year, to celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary. And they are opening their door to strangers and friends to offer food and friendship, to celebrate the tenets of peace, hope, and friendship that's the foundation of Islam. They would like to invite all the Ontarians to attend. I want to say that, and I'm very pleased that this is on. I want to say that this motion for me represents a statement on which I am very proud, and I draw a lot from the community that has accompanied me throughout this journey. I stand here because I believe in the rule of law, and that has been my commitment throughout my career. This commitment, this motion, is about words, because a stand against discrimination matters. It must be spoken. Il faut trouver les mots pour dire.
We must find the words to fight injustices. We have to use the right words to describe what's going on.
It's about supporting and directing the Anti-Racism Directorate action and strategy, because it commits ourselves to continue to address discrimination in all its forms and all throughout services that are offered. It commits us to eradicating discrimination in education, in policing, in all the ways in which we can find it. This is not about singling out a religion, but it is about extending our compassion to a community that hurts, but it is also to stand like Ontarians, to stand for equality for all. It's not the time to be indifferent. Let's not be indifferent. Let's not be silenced. Merci.
Thank you.